Warfare tells the story of a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq during a surveillance mission gone wrong. But I use the term story loosely here, since the movie basically functions as a 90-minute reenactment that takes place in real time. So Warfare is not so much a movie as it is a forensic documentary style recreation of events. There is no story, no basic narrative structure, no character development of any kind, no context as to why the soldiers are where they are, no examination of the geopolitical climate during the Iraq War, no look at the consequences that followed this event, or the greater conflict in general, no moral or ethical questions being asked here, and no thematic statements being made one way or the other. So the movie is similar to Alex Garland's last feature, Civil War, in the sense that it doesn't really take a defined stance about war. Sure, the brutal depiction of violence and the trauma that the soldiers experience could lead one to believe that this is an anti-war film with a message about how war is bad, but the depiction of brave United States soldiers who come together to function as a single unit against an unseen and unnamed enemy, along with the celebratory closing credit sequence, could also lead one to believe that this is a glorifying portrait of events. But the movie isn't really trying to say either of those things. It's actually not trying to say anything at all. But without a discernible message of any kind, I was confused about the way I was supposed to feel while watching this movie. And that definitely gave me conflicting feelings about the film as a whole. Now, don't get me wrong, Warfare is an incredibly well-made film, the camera work is great, the performances are outstanding, the sound design in particular is fantastic, and everything is in service of creating a grounded, immersive, and realistic experience. But without anything to say about it, Warfare is a visceral experience that is devoid of any meaningful substance. I mean, the most interesting part about the movie is probably the final shot of the film, which takes place after the American soldiers have evacuated the area they were in. Civilians and insurgents alike walk out into the street, and there's a harrowingly empty feeling, as if they, along with the audience, are left to wonder what was it all for. But the movie doesn't provide an answer for us, because it definitely isn't interested in providing us with an answer. The movie just is what it is. But considering how boring and tedious the first half of the film is, which is followed up with a second half that consists of nothing but chaos and bullets flying everywhere and constant screaming and a non-stop barrage of blood and dust, I couldn't wait to get out of that hellhole, which is probably the point. That was the closest thing that I'll ever experience to actual warfare. So I do commend Alex Garland's ability to realistically depict war, but I don't think he made a narratively satisfying movie. And I'm someone who definitely falls in the war is hell, what is it good for nothing camp, so I didn't really need this movie to tell me that war is bad. Meaning that the lack of story and substance and depth and fully fleshed out characters made for a really frustrating experience. So, despite all of the rave reviews that it's been receiving, Warfare would, unfortunately, not get a recommendation from me. But I appreciate anyone who took the time to hear my thoughts on this film, so, as always, thanks for watching.